the only animal that hunts with lightning of its own. In the still, muddy rivers of South America, something is moving through water so dark that eyes are almost useless. It glides slowly and patiently, a long shadow nearly the length of a grown man. To the fish around it, everything seems calm, until in a single instant the water itself turns against them. A silent pulse ripples out, and every creature nearby suddenly freezes, their bodies locked, unable to move. This is the electric eel, an animal that carries a weapon no other predator on Earth can match. It doesn't bite, it doesn't chase, and most of the time it doesn't need to. It simply switches on the electricity hidden inside its own body. Despite its name, the electric eel is not really an eel at all. It is a kind of knife fish, and its closest relatives are the catfish that share its muddy home. It can grow to around 2.5 meters long and weigh as much as a large dog. It lives in the warm, slow waters of the Amazon and Orinoco basins, where sunlight barely reaches below the surface. Strangely, for a fish, it cannot survive on water alone. The electric eel must breathe air, rising to the surface every few minutes to gulp a mouthful from the sky. Most of the oxygen it needs comes not from its gills, but from the air itself. But the real secret lies in what fills the rest of its long body. Roughly 4/5 of the electric eel is not muscle or gut, it is a living power plant. Packed along its body are thousands of special cells called electrocytes, stacked like coins in a tower. On its own, each cell holds only a tiny charge, no stronger than a single nerve signal. But wired together in their thousands and fired all at once, they become something extraordinary. In a flash, the eel can unleash a jolt of up to 600 volts, around 5 times the power of a household socket, and a giant species discovered only recently can push that even higher to nearly 900 volts. It is the most powerful electric shock produced by any animal alive. For the electric eel, this power is not just a defense, it is the whole way it hunts. Its eyes are weak, and in the murky water, they are of very little use. So instead of hunting with sight, it hunts with electricity. When it senses prey nearby, it fires a burst of high-voltage pulses through the water. Those pulses reach straight into the bodies of nearby fish and seize control of their muscles. The prey doesn't just feel a shock, its own body is forced to twitch, betraying its hiding place. In an instant, the eel knows exactly where its meal is, even in total darkness. Then a second, stronger volley locks the victim in place, its muscles frozen mid-motion. Unable to swim, unable to flee, the fish is swallowed whole before it ever understood what happened. And for larger prey, the eel has one more trick. It curls its long body into a horseshoe, bringing its head and tail close together. This traps the target in the middle and roughly doubles the strength of the shock passing through it. It is, quite literally, folding itself into a stronger battery. More than 200 years ago, an explorer told a story that few people believed. He described electric eels leaping from the water to attack horses driven into a river. For generations, scientists dismissed it as an exaggeration until recently, when it was finally put to the test. It turned out the old story was true. When a large threat enters its water, the electric eel does something astonishing. Instead of staying safely below, it launches its body upward, right out of the water. It presses the underside of its head against the intruder and pours its shock straight into it. Out of the water, the electricity has nowhere to spread, so almost all of it flows into the target. The higher the eel climbs, the more powerful and painful the blow becomes. It is a bold, deliberate act, a small animal turning itself into a living stun gun. Yet the electric eel does not only use electricity to attack. It also uses it, gently and constantly, simply to understand the world around it. Alongside its powerful jolts, it gives off a steady stream of weak electric pulses. These pulses spread out around its body like an invisible field. When anything nearby disturbs that field, a rock, a plant, another fish, the eel feels the change. In this way, it can map its surroundings in complete darkness without ever seeing a thing. It can even use these signals to recognize other eels and send messages through the murky water. Where we rely on our eyes, the electric eel navigates its world through a sense we can barely imagine. The electric eel has fascinated people for as long as we have known it. Centuries ago, the way it stored and released power helped inspire the invention of the very first battery. The stacked cells in its body became a model for the stacked cells that would one day power our world. So the next time you switch on a light or charge a phone, remember the strange fish that pointed the way. Hidden in the dark rivers of South America, it hunts with lightning, senses with sparks, and carries a storm inside its skin. It is one of the most electrifying reminders that nature invented some of our greatest ideas long before we did. Follow Worth Knowing for more things worth knowing.